There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize that working harder isn't solving the problem. You're doing everything society told you to do. You wake up early. You stay busy. You chase success. Yet deep inside, something still feels missing. The truth is, the loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. The busiest person is rarely the wisest. And the one who keeps chasing everything often ends up losing themselves. More than 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosophers discovered a truth that most people still ignore today. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, wrote that your mind becomes powerful the moment you stop allowing the outside world to control your inner world. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. Most people panic. They run. They fight the wind. But the mountain never moves. It remains calm because it knows the storm will eventually pass. Your mind can become like that mountain. Real strength isn't about controlling other people. It isn't about having more money than everyone else. It isn't about proving your worth to the world. Real strength begins when you no longer need the world's approval to feel complete. The Stoics believe that every obstacle carries a hidden lesson. Every setback contains an opportunity. Every difficult season is preparing you for a stronger version of yourself. In this video, you'll discover 10 timeless Stoic lessons that can help you develop inner peace, emotional discipline, and unshakable confidence. These aren't motivational tricks. They're practical principles that have survived for over 2,000 years because they work. Stay with me until the end, because the final lesson has the power to completely change the way you see your life forever. Let's begin with the first principle. Before you can change your life, you must first change the way you see it. Most people believe their biggest enemy is failure. The Stoics believed something very different. Your greatest enemy is an undisciplined mind, a mind that constantly compares, a mind that worries about tomorrow, a mind that keeps replaying yesterday. Think about how much energy is lost every single day by fighting battles that only exist inside your imagination. You worry about conversations that never happen. You fear failures that never arrive. You create problems that reality never creates. Meanwhile, life quietly passes by. Epictetus once taught that people are disturbed not by events themselves, but by the meaning they attach to those events. Read that again. The event is rarely the problem. Your interpretation is. Two people can experience the exact same setback. One becomes bitter. The other becomes wiser. One gives up. The other grows stronger. What changed? Not the situation. The mindset. This is why Stoicism is not simply a philosophy. It is mental training. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to practice patience. Every criticism becomes a chance to practice confidence. Every disappointment becomes a lesson in emotional control. Imagine waking up every morning without needing validation from social media, strangers, or even the people closest to you. Imagine making decisions because they align with your values, not because you're afraid of what others might think. That is freedom. The Stoics believed freedom begins inside the mind long before it appears in your external life. When your thoughts become calmer, your decisions become wiser. When your decisions become wiser, your habits improve. When your habits improve, your future changes naturally. Everything begins with the mind. Over the next few lessons, you'll discover practical Stoic principles that have helped leaders, warriors, and thinkers remain calm through chaos for thousands of years. Don't just listen to these ideas. Reflect on them. Because knowledge changes nothing. Applied wisdom changes everything. Now, let's begin with the first principle. Principle 1. Master what you can control. Every day, millions of people waste their energy fighting battles they can never win. They worry about what other people think. They obsess over the future. They replay painful memories. They try to control outcomes that have never belonged to them. Then they wonder why they feel exhausted. Marcus Aurelius understood a truth that still changes lives today. Your peace begins the moment you separate what you can control from what you cannot. You cannot control how people judge you. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control whether someone appreciates your kindness. But you can always control your attitude. You can control your discipline. You can control your words. You can control your actions. This simple shift changes everything. Imagine carrying 2 heavy bags every single day. One bag contains your responsibilities. The other contains everyone else's opinions, expectations, mistakes, and decisions. Most people carry both. The Stoic carries only one. That is why they move through life with greater confidence and less stress. Whenever something goes wrong, ask yourself one question. Is this within my control? If the answer is yes, take action immediately. If the answer is no, release it without guilt. Every minute spent worrying about what you cannot control is a minute stolen from the life you could be building. The strongest people are not those who control the world. They are the ones who control themselves. Remember this. Your future is not created by the things that happen to you. It is created by how you respond to them. The moment you master your own mind, you stop becoming a victim of circumstances and start becoming the author of your own life. That is where real freedom begins. Now take a deep breath, and let's move to the second principle. Stop seeking approval. One of the greatest prisons in the world has no walls. It is the constant need to be liked. From childhood, we're taught to seek approval. We want good grades to impress our parents. We want recognition from teachers, friends, co-workers, and strangers. As adults, this habit becomes even stronger. We measure our worth by likes, followers, compliments, and opinions. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The moment your happiness depends on someone else's approval, you hand them control over your life. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." At first, those words sound harsh, but hidden inside them is incredible freedom. People will judge you whether you succeed or fail. If you're quiet, they'll call you weak. If you're confident, they'll call you arrogant. If you're ambitious, they'll say you're obsessed. If you're different, they'll say you've changed. No matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. So why build your life around opinions you can never control? The Stoics believed your character matters far more than your reputation. Reputation lives in other people's minds. Character lives in your actions. One can disappear overnight. The other stays with you forever. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. The reflection changes depending on the angle, the light, and the glass. Other people's opinions are exactly like that. They don't always reflect who you truly are. They reflect how they see the world. Stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Stop shrinking yourself just to fit into places you've already outgrown. Stop waiting for permission to become the person you're meant to be. Real confidence is quiet. It doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't chase validation. It simply continues doing the right thing, even when nobody is watching. The strongest person in the room is often the one who needs the least applause. Remember this every morning. You were not born to satisfy everyone's expectations. You were born to live according to your values. When you stop chasing approval, you finally start attracting respect. Now, let's move to the third principle. Turn obstacles into your greatest strength. Life will test you. Not once, not twice, but again and again. There will be moments when your plans fall apart without warning. People you trusted will disappoint you. Opportunities you worked hard for may disappear. And there will be days when it feels like the entire world is standing in your way. Most people see these moments as signs to quit. The Stoics saw them as invitations to grow. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle in the path becomes the path." At first, those words seem impossible to believe. How can pain become progress? How can failure become success? The answer lies in perspective. Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. The steel is heated until it glows. Then it's struck over and over again with a heavy hammer. Without the fire, there is no strength. Without the hammer, there is no blade. Your life works the same way. The struggles you face today are shaping the person you'll become tomorrow. Every challenge builds patience. Every setback teaches wisdom. Every failure develops resilience. The strongest people are rarely those who had the easiest lives. They're the ones who refused to let hardship define them. Instead, they allowed hardship to refine them. When something goes wrong, don't immediately ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That single question changes everything. Because every obstacle contains a hidden lesson. Sometimes life delays your success because you're not ready yet. Sometimes a closed door protects you from walking into the wrong room. Sometimes rejection redirects you towards something far greater than you imagined. The Stoics never wasted time complaining about reality. They accepted what happened, learned from it, and kept moving forward. That's real strength. Remember this. A smooth sea never created a skilled sailor. A comfortable life rarely creates a powerful mind. Your difficulties are not proof that life is against you. They are proof that life is preparing you. The next time life challenges you, stand a little taller. Breathe a little deeper and remind yourself, this obstacle is not here to stop me. It is here to strengthen me. Because every obstacle you overcome becomes part of the person you were meant to become. Now, let's move to the fourth principle. Build an unshakable inner world. There is one mistake that keeps millions of people trapped for their entire lives. They build their happiness on things they cannot keep. A better job, more money, a perfect relationship, fame, recognition, the approval of strangers. For a moment, these things feel satisfying, but sooner or later, they change. And when they change, so does your peace. The Stoics believe that anything outside your control can never become the foundation of a stable life. Real security begins within. Imagine building two houses. One is built on sand. The other is built on solid rock. When the storm arrives, both houses face the same wind, the same rain, and the same pressure. But only one remains standing. Your mind is that foundation. If your confidence depends on praise, criticism will destroy you. If your happiness depends on success, failure will break you. If your identity depends on other people's opinions, you'll spend your entire life pretending to be someone you're not. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that the soul becomes colored by the thoughts it repeatedly holds. Think about that. Every thought you repeat becomes a brick in the foundation of your character. If you constantly repeat fear, you build a fearful life. If you constantly repeat confidence, you build a confident life. Your inner world always becomes your outer reality. This is why the Stoics protected their minds so carefully. They didn't allow every opinion to enter. They didn't react to every insult. They didn't chase every distraction. They chose carefully what deserved their attention. Because attention is one of the most valuable things you own. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Every morning, before the world tells you who to be, remind yourself who you already are. You are not your failures. You are not your past. You are not the opinions of people who never truly understood you. You are the choices you make today. Build a mind so strong that success cannot make you arrogant, and failure cannot make you quit. Because when your inner world becomes unshakable, no external storm can destroy your peace. Now take a deep breath. The next principle may completely change how you think about success. The strength of silence. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, the wisest people learn when to remain silent. Most arguments don't begin because people disagree. They begin because nobody wants to listen. Everyone wants the last word. Everyone wants to prove they're right. Everyone wants to protect their ego. But the Stoics understood something powerful. Not every battle deserves your energy. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that the opinions of others cannot damage a person with a disciplined mind. Think about that. Every time you react to unnecessary criticism, you give away a piece of your peace. Every time you argue with someone determined to misunderstand you, you waste energy you'll never get back. Silence is not weakness. Silence is self-control. Imagine a lion walking through the forest. It doesn't roar at every barking dog. It doesn't stop to answer every challenge. It keeps moving toward its destination. The lion understands that true power doesn't need constant proof. Your life is the same. Some people will criticize you no matter what you do. Some will doubt your dreams. Some will laugh at your goals. If you stop to answer every voice, you'll never reach your own destination. The Stoics believed your character should speak louder than your words. Instead of explaining yourself, improve yourself. Instead of arguing, stay calm. Instead of seeking revenge, keep growing. Nothing confuses your critics more than your silence and your success. Remember, people expect reactions. They don't expect discipline. They expect anger. They don't expect patience. They expect excuses. They don't expect results. Your greatest response is not another argument. Your greatest response is becoming the person they never believed you could become. The next time someone insults you, pause, smile, walk away if you need to. Protect your peace instead of protecting your ego. Because every unnecessary argument steals time from the life you're trying to build. The strongest people don't win every fight. They simply refuse to fight the battles that don't matter. Now, let's move to the sixth principle. Discipline over motivation. Most people wait to feel motivated before they take action. The Stoics did the exact opposite. They acted first and allowed discipline to create momentum. Motivation is exciting, but it is also unpredictable. Some mornings you wake up feeling unstoppable. Other mornings, you don't even want to leave your bed. If your success depends on motivation, Your progress will always be inconsistent. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up every day feeling inspired to lead an empire. He had difficult mornings. He faced stress. He faced criticism. He faced uncertainty. Yet he reminded himself each day, you have work to do. Not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. That is discipline. Discipline means doing what is right, even when your emotions tell you not to. Imagine two people with the same dream. The first works only when they feel motivated. The second works whether they feel inspired or not. 1 year later, who do you think has transformed their life? Small actions repeated every day are far more powerful than rare moments of intense effort. 1 page read each day becomes knowledge. 1 workout each day becomes strength. 1 disciplined decision each day becomes character. Success is never built in a single moment. It is built in the quiet choices that nobody notices. The world celebrates big victories. The Stoics celebrated daily consistency because they knew that greatness is simply ordinary. Actions performed with extraordinary commitment. Whenever you don't feel like doing the work, remember this. Your future self is watching. Every excuse you make today becomes a burden tomorrow. Every disciplined action you take today becomes a reward in the future. Don't ask yourself, do I feel like doing this? Ask, is this the kind of person I want to become? Because every action is casting a vote for your future identity. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. It is the promise you make to yourself and keep, one day at a time. Now, let's continue to the 7th principle. Let go of what you cannot change. One of the greatest causes of suffering is holding on to things that were never meant to stay. People hold on to old mistakes. They replay painful memories. They carry guilt for years. They wait for apologies that may never come. And without realizing it, they become prisoners of the past. The Stoics believe that the past is a place to learn from, not a place to live. Imagine trying to climb a mountain while carrying a backpack filled with heavy stones. Every step becomes harder, not because the mountain is impossible, but because you're carrying unnecessary weight. Your regrets are those stones. Your resentment is another stone. Your anger, your disappointment, your fear. Each one makes the journey more difficult than it needs to be. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that every new day is a chance to begin again, with a clearer mind. Life does not ask you to be perfect. It asks you to keep moving forward. Forgiveness is not saying that what happened was acceptable. Forgiveness is deciding that your future is more valuable than your pain. When you refuse to let go, the person who hurt you continues to control your life. But when you release the past, you take your power back. This doesn't happen overnight. It happens one decision at a time. Each morning, choose peace over resentment. Choose growth over regret. Choose acceptance over resistance. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can write a different ending beginning today. The strongest people are not those who never experience pain. They are the ones who refuse to let pain become their identity. Remember this. Every chapter has an ending, not because the story is over, but because a new chapter is ready to begin. Close the door that no longer serves you. Leave behind the weight you were never meant to carry. Walk forward with an open mind and a lighter heart. Because your future deserves the best version of you, not the broken version that keeps looking back. Now, let's move to the 8th principle. Become comfortable with solitude. Most people fear being alone. The moment silence enters the room, they reach for their phone. The moment loneliness appears, they search for distractions. They fill every empty moment with noise because they are afraid of meeting themselves. But the Stoics saw solitude differently. To them, solitude was not loneliness. It was a place of strength, a place where character is built, a place where the mind becomes clear. Seneca once wrote that the greatest person is the one who can enjoy their own company. Think about that. If you cannot be at peace with yourself, no amount of attention from others will ever make you feel complete. Imagine standing beside a quiet lake at sunrise. The water is perfectly still. Because it is still, it reflects everything with perfect clarity. Your mind works the same way. When it is constantly distracted, it becomes cloudy. When it becomes quiet, you begin to see life as it truly is. This is why wise people protect moments of silence. Not because they dislike others, but because they value hearing their own thoughts. Some of the greatest decisions in history were not made in crowded rooms. They were made in quiet moments of reflection. Your purpose becomes clearer in silence. Your intuition becomes stronger in silence. Your confidence grows in silence. When you no longer fear being alone, you stop accepting relationships that steal your peace. You stop chasing people who don't value you. You stop begging for attention from those who never truly cared. Because you discover something powerful. Your own company is enough. This doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means never depending on the world to complete you. Spend a few minutes each day without music, without social media, without distractions. Sit quietly. Observe your thoughts. Ask yourself difficult questions. Listen carefully to the answers. The strongest mind is not the loudest one. It is the calmest one. And a calm mind sees opportunities that a distracted mind will always miss. Master solitude, and you'll never fear loneliness again. Now, let's continue to the ninth principle. Accept the journey and trust the process. The final lesson of Stoic wisdom is perhaps the most difficult one to master. Acceptance. Not the kind of acceptance that makes you give up, but the kind that gives you the strength to continue. Many people spend their lives fighting reality. They wish the past was different. They wish people would act differently. They wish life would follow their exact plan. But life was never designed to follow your plan perfectly. The Stoics understood that peace does not come from controlling everything. Peace comes from knowing how to respond to anything. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, personal loss, betrayal, and suffering. Yet he continued to remind himself that every moment could be used for growth. This is the difference between a weak mind and a strong mind. A weak mind says, "Why is this happening to me?" A strong mind asks, "What can I learn from this?" Every experience is shaping you. The good moments teach you gratitude. The difficult moments teach you strength. The unexpected moments teach you adaptability. Nothing is wasted when you have the right mindset. Think about a river. A river doesn't stop because it finds a rock. It doesn't become angry because the path changes. It simply continues flowing. Sometimes around the obstacle, sometimes over it, sometimes creating an entirely new path. That is how you must move through life. Stay committed to your goals, but remain flexible with the journey. Have a vision, but don't become a prisoner of one specific outcome. Because sometimes the door you wanted doesn't open. Not because life rejected you, but because something better is waiting somewhere else. Trust does not mean sitting still and doing nothing. Trust means taking action while understanding that not everything is in your hands. Give your best effort. Control what you can. Release what you cannot. And allow life to unfold. The person who accepts the journey becomes impossible to defeat because they no longer see challenges as enemies. They see them as teachers. They no longer fear change. They learn from it. They no longer chase peace. They create it from within. Remember this. You are not here to control every chapter of your story. You are here to become stronger through every chapter. And when you learn to trust the process, you discover that life was not working against you. It was preparing you. Now let's bring all these lessons together in the final message. Final message, the Stoic path to a powerful life. After everything we've discovered, one truth becomes clear. The greatest transformation does not begin when the world changes. It begins when you change the way you see the world. The Stoics were not searching for a life without problems. They were building a mind that could handle any problem. They understood that storms are a part of life. But a strong mind can stand calmly in the middle of the storm. You learn that your power begins with controlling what you can. You learn that peace exists only in the present moment. You learn that obstacles are not designed to destroy you. They are designed to develop you. You learn that your confidence should come from within, not from the approval of others. You learn the strength of silence, discipline, solitude, and acceptance. These are not just ideas to remember. They are principles to practice every single day. Because knowing wisdom is not enough. You must live it. The world will continue to test you. People will misunderstand you. Plans will change. Unexpected challenges will appear. But now you have something more valuable than an easy life. You have a stronger mind. And a person with a disciplined mind cannot be easily broken. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, remember this. Do not chase peace. Create it. Do not beg for respect. Earn it through your actions. Do not fear challenges. Use them as fuel. Do not waste your energy controlling things that were never yours to control. Focus on your character. Focus on your choices. Focus on becoming better than you were yesterday. The journey of becoming stronger is not completed in one day. It is built through thousands of small decisions. One moment of patience. One moment of discipline. One moment of courage. One moment of choosing wisdom over emotion. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. If this message connected with you, remember this. Your mind is your kingdom. Protect it. Train it. Strengthen it. Because when you master yourself, nothing outside of you can take away your peace. This is the Stoic path. And this is only the beginning. Welcome to a stronger version of yourself.